I, on behalf of Department of Panchakarma, welcome you all in this 13th online lecture series of the evidence-based Panchakarma. And today we have the renowned expert of Panchakarma and teacher from VPSV Ayurveda College, åKottakkal. This is Professor Subin Vaidyamadham. So let me welcome you, Subin sir. And for just an introduction, that Namaste sir. Sir has born in Vaidyamadham family, that is the famous Ashtavaidyan physicians, which is there in Kerala. And he has underwent clinical training under late Ashtavaidyan Vaidyamadham, Cheriya Narayan Nambudiri and Dr. V.M. Rishi Kumara Nambudiri. And he has a experience of medical officer in Panchakarma under ISM Kerala for 5 years. And then he joined as a professor since 14 years in the VPSV Ayurveda College in the Department of Panchakarma. Sir is completed his BMS from Sri Jayendra Saraswati Ayurveda College, Chennai. And he did his PG from DGM Ayurveda College, Gadag, that is Karnataka. And he's at present, he's a PhD scholar at Kerala University of Health Sciences, Kerala. And sir has gained many awards and acknowledgements. He has got Best Orator in Sanskrit by Madras Sanskrit College in 1997. Sir has got Best Poster Presentation in International Ayurveda Summit, Bangalore in 2003. And sir is associated with multiple research and academic projects in institute. And sir has guided several PG and PG diploma scholars. And sir is invited for many as a resource person at several states, national and international level seminars and workshops and conferences. So with this, without wasting any time, I welcome you, sir, in this series, which is started by the Department of Panchakarma, Faculty of Ayurveda, IMS, BHU, to get a knowledge from a well-known speaker from all out India to our students, which will be helpful for them in a patient care. So, and why I give you this topic is because there was like many misnomer for Panchakarma, Keraliya Panchakarma, and there is that. Then I thought, okay, you are the person who can give the right knowledge to our students. What is Keraliya Upkarmas and what is its therapeutic application? So welcome you, sir, and over to you.
Namaste. Thank you, madam. Thank you for the good words. Namaste to all. Once again, welcome and very good afternoon. Let me begin with a small prayer first. Gurave sarva loganam, bhishaje bhava roginam, nidhaye sarva vidyanam, dakshinamurtaye nama. I bow my head before Lord Dakshinamurti. Now let me share my screen first. Then we will start with the presentation. Our madam has, Rajkala madam has mentioned, today's topic is the therapeutic application of Keraliya Chikitsa. So, before starting the topic, I would like to take this opportunity at first itself to thank all the organizers from the Banaras Hindu University for inviting me and having me on this platform. So the points to be discussed today are well coined. What are Keraliya Upkarma? What is the relation of Panchakarma with Keraliya Upkarma? Clinical applications of Keraliya Upkarma, SOP of certain Keraliya Upkarmas. What is Pati Kashaya? Special consideration of clinical practice in Kerala. So in the coming 1 hour or so, I will cover most of these points. Only permission I need from your organizers is that the SOPs, full SOPs, I cannot cover within this time frame. So I will do one thing. I will definitely throw some light on SOP whenever the topic is come, and I will share the SOPs of each these procedures as the PDF document so that you can send it to the participants. I hope that is understood.
Yes, okay. Yes, sure, sir.
Thank you, madam. So let me begin with a question at first. Is the course curriculum under NCISM NCISM has introduced several curriculum changes. The CBDC curriculum is being enforced now, isn't it? For any Indian system, let it be Ayurveda or other Indian systems of medicine, is it a flexible one depending upon the ethnic practice variations which existed historically in our country? Why I am asking this question at first is that we know very well that Ayurveda is not the same everywhere. Some places herbal medicines are used more. Some places rasaushadhis are used more, the herbominerals. Some places the therapies are more important. Some places maybe ekamulika prayogas are important. Some places, some bandages are what is identified as Ayurveda. Is this variation accounted for in the NCISM curriculum? That is a question that all of us, all of the basic Ayurveda practitioners should think. A person completing a BAMS course or graduating after studying in Ayurveda College, does he gain the competency of the Ayurveda practices particular to the region where he studied? That is a question here. So a famous professor, P. Velayudha Panikkar, he is in fact a professor of pharmacognosy at Trivandrum Medical College, one of the oldest medical colleges in India, oldest and largest. He wrote a paper titled "The Status of Indian Ethnic Therapies in National Scenario." And significant observation that he made in that paper was there is disparity in the treatment that exists in India, region to region. And the intrinsic beauty lies in maintaining a unity of connectivity through the subtextual culture. The culture or the Ayurveda, what we learn in the academy is codified Ayurveda. Other than that, non-codified Ayurveda existed in our India, is continuing its existence now also. So that divergent application techniques is the intrinsic beauty of Ayurveda treatment. That was his one significant observation, that it is adopted according to the geocultural modes. Now you are sitting on the north side or on the shore of Ganga, like the pure Ganges, and I am sitting in the Dakshinabadha of Ganga. Charaka himself mentioned that for people who are lying south of Ganges, it is Pravridadi Ridukramam, isn't it? Our Ridukrama starts with Pravrit, whereas your Ridukrama starts with Hemanta. So these geocultural modes and ethnic lifestyle adaptation was visible in Ayurveda, which unfortunately is missing in today's curriculum. Let us go back and read one line from Ashtanga Sangraha, Bheshajavajaraniya chapter. At the end of the chapter, Vagbhadacharya said, Uchito yasya yo deshaha, tajjam tasya aushatam hitam, deshe anyatra abhivasataha, tat tulya guna janmacha. So the medicines for a particular individual or the therapy or intervention for a particular individual has to be from the same desha or the suitable desha or the desha which is satmya to him. Even if he is residing in another desha, the tulya guna janmatva. So for example, I am in Kerala, the southernmost peninsula of our country. For me, geographically, Sri Lanka is very similar. The climate, geography of Sri Lanka is very similar. It's not the same case with Varanasi or Kashi or the northern region. So this consideration in the treatment is highlighted by Ashtanga Sangraha in the Bheshajavajaraniya Adhyaya. Considering that Keraliya Chikitsa, which is an ethnic practice, which are a group of ethnic practices which existed and exists in Kerala, which had contributed to the branches of Ashtanga Ayurveda, like whether it is Bala Chikitsa, whether it is Visha Chikitsa, whether it is Kaya Chikitsa, whether it is Shalakya, all the branches were nourished by the ethnic practice.
Sir, sir, there is some technical issue. Please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. You are muted yourself.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh. So should I repeat?
No, sir. No, sir. You can start with Keraliya.
Okay. So I hope I am audible. As I was saying, Keraliya Chikitsa strengthened the Ashtanga of Ayurveda, and also it had introduced several additions and modification to the classical formulation. For example, the Gandharva Hastadi Kwadha in Vata Chikitsa. In Vada Vyadhi Chikitsa, Charaka, Sushruta, Vagbada, you will not find the Kwadha, Gandharva Hastadi, called Gandharva Hastadi. Likewise, nourishment of literature, several commentaries on classical textbooks, particularly Ashtanga Hridaya, and later on, books like Sahasra Yoga, Chikitsa Manjari, Yoga Amridam, so on, Vaidya Manorama, lot of books in Sanskrit and regional language was one of the highlights of Keraliya Chikitsa. And not only that, Keraliya Chikitsa utilized the herbarium, that is the flora and fauna that existed in the Western Ghats. They have introduced several medicines which are seen only in the Western Ghats, like the Vadari, what we call Vadam Kulli. The Vadari is commonly used for Patrapodala Sweda, like that. And as you know, today's topic, the Panchakarma and new formulations. So, Keraliya Chikitsa as a whole, okay, from there we are going to the Upkarmas or the Kriyakramas. So as a whole, this is how the Keraliya Chikitsa picture will look like. Then the question comes, why not say Keraliya Panchakarma then? I am not a big fan of that word, Keraliya Panchakarma. And I do believe that there is no Keraliya Panchakarma. There is only Keraliya Chikitsa or Kriyakrama. Okay, why? Why I am saying that? We will discuss that in the following slides. This terminology was introduced by a book published in 1972 by Dr. T.L. Devaraj. He titled the book as Keraliya Panchakarma Chikitsa Vijnan. Before that, there was no historical usage of the term Keraliya Panchakarma, even in none of the Malayalam books. Nobody have used that term from Kerala. It was first introduced by this Hindi book published in 1972. If you see Vaidya Manorama, which is a very old book, maybe written in AD 1000, in between AD 1000 and AD 1500. It was authored by Kalidasa, someone called Kalidasa, and first published in Devanagari by none other than Yadavji Trikamji himself. So it is a Sanskrit book from Kerala. Even in this book, which is first published in 1913, there was a appendix, you can see Vaidya Manorama Tadha Dhara Kalpaha. Okay, that Dhara Kalpa is the basis for most of the Keraliya Kriya Kramas. Nowhere in the book. So I am presenting you the evidence anterior to 1972. Nowhere the word Keraliya Panchakarma is found. And later on, in the 1940s or around the independence period, there were two books. One was Sirasegadi Vidhi, first edition 1929, and the other one that was in Sanskrit, and the other one by the reputed Ashtavaidya, Vaiskara N.S. Moose in English, the first book in English, Ayurvedic Treatments of Kerala. None of these books mentioned Keraliya Panchakarma, neither in their title nor in the text. See, the basis for the Keraliya Panchakarma Vijnan Hindi book from Dr. T.L. Devaraj was a document published in Ayurvedic Journal of åKottakkal, 1971. Okay, and that was a Sanskrit work by S.R. Iyer. S.R. Iyer was a reputed scholar, a physician. He authored a book called Keraliya Chikitsa Krama. The Hindi book is a literal translation of this Sanskrit work. So there also you can see there is no usage of the word Keraliya Panchakarma, only Keraliya Chikitsa Krama. So here in Kerala we say only Keraliya Chikitsa Kriya Krama, that's all, not Keraliya Panchakarma. So even though this particular book, that is Keraliya Chikitsa Krama, S.R. Iyer, who was the author of that, he enumerates the Upkarma or Kriya Krama. He did not say or he did not use the term Keraliya Panchakarma. You can verify yourself. He writes like this, and I quote, Murdhasegadi Vidhayaha Samhidaswabi Sujita. These Murdhasega, etc. are explained in Samhidas, the Brihatrayis. Keraliya Dridam Chesham Sadhu Akshe Kriya Kramam. But those practices which are developed by the Keraliya physicians, that I will explain in my book, Kriya Kramam. Which are the Murdhasegaha, Kayasegaha, Pindasvedo, Annalepanam, Shirolepaschedi, Panja Kerale Pradhita Kriya. Panja Kerale Pradhita Kriya. Not Panchakarma, Panja Kriya. Keraliya Panja Kriya. Only Kriya Krama or Upkarma word or Keraliya Chikitsa word was used in the document by him. Anya Desha Bhishadbhi Hidayasam Kriya Krama. So that the physicians of other places can also learn this treatment. That was the background or the historical background about the Keraliya Panchakarma. So we say the Keraliya Panchakarma as a misnomer actually. So Keraliya Panchakarma, that terminology is a misnomer. We do have such things, isn't it? We say Kshira Dhuma, where in fact it is a Sweda Karma. It is actually Kshira Bhashpa, isn't it? We have such misnomers. So most of the classical Panchakarmas work as Koshta Shodhana. They work on the Mahasrodhas. They do the purification transmembraneously, whereas the Keraliya Kriya Krama or the Keraliya Chikitsa like Dhara, Kayasega, and Pindasveda, Annalepa, Shiryolepa, etc. work on the body transdermally. They do the Bahiparimarjanam, not Antaparimarjanam. So that is about their placement. Keraliya Chikitsa or the Kriya Krama are part and parcel of Bahiparimarjana Chikitsa. The Araggudhiya chapter from Charaka Samhita Sutrasthana, the third chapter, you can rewind and capture the Bahiparimarjana medicines. So just refreshing what I have said. And Keraliya Chikitsa and Kriyakrama or Kriyakrama has been a major contributor to Ayurveda through various means. Regional practices and texts have gone into deep graves with modernization of Ayurveda. This is one important concern that we have, not only from Kerala, many persons working on traditional medicine, the ethnic medicine, have this concern that lot of the regional variations in the application of Ayurveda have gone away. We don't see that now after the uniform syllabus has been introduced. So there should be some flexibility inbuilt in the curriculum. That is what my point is. Keraliya Vaidya developed this Bahiparimarjana Chikitsa into a more potential therapy. So you know that Shirasega is mentioned by Charaka. Charaka says about Murdha Taila, Murdha Tailiga. He says in the Tasya Ashidiyam chapter, he says, isn't it? Nityam Snehardra Shirasaha. Shirashulam na jayade. He begins the Murdha Tailigas with that. But the Keraliya Vaidya have worked upon the Upadesha of Charaka, okay, and developed that with a wide range of clinical applications. And the focus on merits of Ayurveda, as taught and practiced in Kerala, is what I attempt to highlight in today's presentation. So I am able to do this only because of my ancestors, my predecessors, my gurus, because of whom these are my uncles, grandfather, great-grandfathers from the Vaidyamadham family of Shala Vaidya or Ashtavaidya. I pay my respects to them before entering into the actual topic. So therapeutic application of Keraliya Chikitsa. Let us begin with something practiced on head. See, we have a reference in Sutrasthana. Shastram Shastrani Salilam Guna Dosha Pravrittaye Patrabhikshinyada Deyam. So Shastra, Shastra and what? Salilam can be given to somebody depending upon merit only. Importance of head. All over the world, the mankind has understood about the importance of head in our body, among our body parts. See how Westerners utilize with that knowledge. They utilize that to impart some punishment on culprits. This is a famous form of punishment practiced in Europe, maybe by Nazi groups also, called waterboarding, because they understood that if you hurt the shiras, you will maximize the pain, isn't it? So even the term murdha is coined from in Sanskrit as muhyadi ahade asmin idi murdha. If you strike this part, you will lose your consciousness. Muhyadi asmin ahade idi murdha. Okay. But see, when the same knowledge, with the same knowledge, how people of Bharat, our people, utilized that, they utilized it for the well-being of humans. It's like the knowledge about nuclear energy. What did America do? They bombarded Iraq or Japan. But Russia, they utilized it for energy needs. They utilized that energy for agriculture and so on. Okay, like that, we utilized our knowledge about the importance of head to develop a treatment called Keraliya Dhara or Shirodhara Chikitsa. An important observation about the uniqueness of this Dhara Chikitsa was made by a famous researcher called Kazuo Ubeba. Kazuo Ubeba is a Japanese researcher who had developed a robotic Shirodhara Yantra. In his paper, he makes a significant observation on Dhara, Shirodhara. He says, and I quote, "The oldest but the most skillful healing technique that manipulates the cerebral circulation, cerebral function, and the state of consciousness is none other than Shirodhara." Such importance is still identified by scientists and researchers worldwide. So let us see some about the Shirodhara at first. When we are using some sneha, taila, etc. for the dhara, it is called as murdha taila. So it is a part of bahya snehana. The placement is, it is a part of bahya snehana. But there are other ingredients introduced by the Keraliya Vaidya, like takra, like shira, like kashaya, like dhanya amla, etc. Even jala. Okay. Then the indication changes. The indication changes and the treatment shift its paradigm from bahya snehana to bahiparimarjana or prakshalana, bahya prakshalana, when there is the bahya yogamarga involvement, and even srodha shodhana, when you are doing sweda karma with dhanyamla, etc., it becomes srodha shodhana. And even the procedure, see, usually over the head, koshna or ushna procedures are not to be done, isn't it? Even when we are taking bath, ushnambuna adhakkayasya parisheko balavaha tenaivatu uttamangasya balahrit kesha chakshusham. If you are using hot water for head, it will damage your eyes and hairs. That is the reference that we have. But Keraliya Vaidyas, utilizing the reference of Shirovasti, in which Koshna Taila is kept over the head, they have tried the usage of Taila also in Koshna state over the head. So it becomes a Swedakaraka and also has some Brahmana action. And the outcome in most of the cases, see, these are procedures which are basically Shamana in nature, not Shodhana. So they create, their outcome will be Vyadhi Mardhava, that is curative. Their intent is curative. So they do Shamana of different dosha kopa. This is the placement of the Shirodhara or other dharas. So naturally there will be a question whether this Shirodhara is a Bahiparimarjana Chikitsa alone. We can try to answer that by referring to the classics. It is targeting the Shiras, which is one among the Marmatraya, isn't it? From the Trimarmiyam, we know about the Marmatrayam. The Nasya is explained in Trimarmiyam, which is a seat of all Indriya and also the seat of Pranavata. Pranavata, it is the Avasthiti Sthana, Sancharana Sthana and Avasthiti Sthana. There are two sthanas for each Vada. One is Sancharana Sthana, one is Avasthiti Sthana. And it is the Avasthiti Sthana of Pranavada itself. So it is a vital structure in the body. And we say it as Uttamangam, isn't it? Shiras is also known as Uttamangam. There is even a Taila called known as Uttamanga Tailam, isn't it? Anamaye yadhamule vriksha samyak pravarthate. Anamaye shirasyevam dehaha samyak pravarthate. If you are keeping the root of a tree disease-free, healthy, then the tree grows properly. Likewise, the root of the body is Shiras. Like it is Urdhvamulam Athashakam. So if you keep that Shiras healthy, body also remains healthy. Even Sushruta has mentioned about Sega of Sneha. He says that Jalasiktasya vardhante yadha mule angurastaroho tadha dhadu vivruddhirhi snehasiktasya jayate. The dhadu vruddhi will occur if you are doing seka, dhara with sneha. That is the opinion of Sushruta. So you can find lot of references linking or explaining or justifying the placement of this dhara in Ayurveda treatment. It's also a marma paripalana chikitsa. So indications the diseases of marma involvement, and it is applied proximal to those marma. So when we are seeing about pakshaghata, when there is a road traffic accident and resulting paralysis, when there is quadriplegia, when some person undergoes craniotomy or some brain surgery, we are doing dhara over that part. That is significant in terms of marma. So in Shiroroga, Pakshaghata, Ardhida, we can validate that. Now, about the Indriyas, in Shalakya Tantra, very important place is given to this Shirodhara. Sarvendriyani yena asmin prana yena cha samshrita. Tena tasya uttamangasya rakshayam adrudo bhaved. Very quickly you should act upon protecting the uttamanga. So it is also an Indriya Prasadana Chikitsa. You can see one synonym mentioned by Charaka in Murdha Daila is Sandarpanam Chendriyanam Shirasaha Pratipuranam. So it is Prasadana to Indriyas. It is doing Purana of the Shiras. So the indications, various diseases or stages in the Jnanendriya involvement of Shalakya Tantra, and the procedure is applied proximal over the part. So here, even if you are doing the Shiras, how far the Shiras should be covered. So Dalhana, while explaining Mastishkya in the Kriyakalpa Adhyaya of Sushruta Samhita, he comments that if you are practicing in Urdhva Jatrugada Rogas, you should consider Shiras until the Griva. Shiroatra Griva Varyantam Grahyam. That is a specific observation made by Dalhana. So in Shiroroga, Netraroga and Karnaroga, if you are doing Shiro Piju, etc., the Piju should be kept till the Griva. And also, special care is given to the protection of Indriyas when you are applying Murdha Dailas. So we say that Sadaiva Shidalam Jandor Murdhini Dailam Pradabayet. So even though there are exceptions when we are doing it in Vada Rogas, generally, Ushna Guna is forbidden over the Shiras. So the Tattvam of the Shirodhara is that it is a Bahiparimarjana Chikitsa, it is an Indriya Prasadana Chikitsa, and also a Marma Paripalana Chikitsa. So that is about the most important Keraliya Chikitsa or Keraliya Kriyakrama Shirodhara. Now let us move on with some other procedures also. So historically, if we see, Dhara in Shiras was not highlighted in the Samhita period. Instead, Shirovasti was considered more important. We know that among the Murdha Daila, Shirovasti is the most potent one. But Keraliya Vaidya brought several innovations in the practice of Dhara and developed it into a more potential therapy with a wide range of clinical applications. So we say that Yogan Shirasi Sambhudan Hatva Adiprabalan Gunan Karodi Shiraso Vastihi Uttaye Murdha Dailiga. Along with Shirovasti, other Murdha Dailas also will cure the Adiprabala Vyadhis affecting the Shiras. Now, coming to certain Swedas, which are very popular as Keraliya Chikitsa. Let us first see about the placement of all these Swedas. So I would ask the participants, especially students, to just recap the classification of Sweda Karma. There is a twofold classification, isn't it? Sagni, Niragni, isn't it? Then there is the Snigdha, Ruksha. Then there is the Ekanga, Sarvanga. Then threefold classification, Snigdha, Ruksha, Ruksha, Snigdha. Isn't it? Fourfold classification by Sushruta, Taba, Ushma, Drava, the Upanaha, fourfold classification, and so on till the Charaga, Trayodasha Vidha, Swedas. Now, there are a lot of Sweda Karma in practice. If you want to understand or assimilate the knowledge of all these Sweda, the inputs from all these variety of Sweda Karmas, and place them so that you can apply it into your clinical practice, how is it possible? I have an idea regarding that. This is what I do. I draw a scale of Ruksha and Snigdha. Okay, a horizontal line. You can see in the slide. And the both extremities, I will place the most Ruksha Sweda and most Snigdha Sweda. And in the midpoint, there will be Sweda, which are a mixture of Ruksha and Snigdha. Now you can see in this scale where different Keraliya Sweda Karma or Kriya Krama that you have learned or practiced are being fitted into. You see the Valuga, it is the most Ruksha one. You see the Mamsa, it is the most Snigdha one. You see the Churnapinda Sweda, Patrabodala Sweda, which are the most popular ones. They are placed in the midline. They are a mixture of Ruksha Snigdha Swedas. So, likewise, we can understand these different Swedas. Then it is easy to apply that into your clinical practice. Ruksha Snigdham Kabhanile, isn't it? That is what we learned. If it is Vata, you can go for Snigdha Sweda. If it is Kabha, you can go for Ruksha Sweda. If it is Kabha Vada, you can go for Ruksha Snigdha Sweda. You can select, just pick from any one of these according to the dosha dominance. So that is an overview regarding the different Sweda Karma. Now let us enter into the individual Sweda Karma and the clinical explanation. Now, as I said earlier, today's presentation, I am not going to detail the SOPs because that is time consuming. Okay, we have time restraint. So I will share the SOP of these different major Sweda Karma, that 5 that you have mentioned at the first, and we will discuss the clinical applications now. So Valuga Sweda, originally it is mentioned by a text called Siddha Yoga. This is also again a reminder for students. If you go to library and search, you will not find Siddha Yoga. That is its original name. Actually, the text is known as Vrindamadhava. Okay, so Vrindamadhava was the first to mention about Valuga Sweda. He defined it as Karpara Bhrishta Patasthida Kanjiga Sikto Hi Valuga Sweda. So he has mentioned the technique as a Ushma Sweda. But in Kerala, you can see the commentary called Hridaya Bodhiga. It is a commentary written by Sridasa Pandita in Sanskrit on Ashtanga Hridaya. He says that this Valuga Sweda is applied conventionally by Keraliya physicians as a Tapas Sweda. Okay, so there are two practices. Valuga Sweda as Ushma Sweda, Valuga Sweda as Tapas Sweda. And the Hridaya Bodhiga says that Tapas Sweda with Valuga or other Tapas Sweda can be done as Ruksha, Asnigdhasya Sharirinaha to Ajirna patients for the Paja or Deepana and Vishtambhova Shamana. That is its general placement. Vrindamadhava says that Shamayati Kabhamaya Mastaka Shula Angabhangadim. So it is indicated in all Vata Kapha Rogas. Torticollis is very commonly we do. Torticollis is when the patient comes with a stiff neck. Lumbago, we do that. Okay, Kabhanubandha Vyada Vyadhi. Initial stage of joint diseases. AMA association is there. It is the fibromyalgia, another important indication. Angabhanga, fibromyalgia. It is the most economical among the Sweda Karma and easily available material. Let us move on to another Sweda called Arkapatra Sweda. It is done as Ekanga, okay, locally in Padaruk. That is your cases of Achilles tendonitis or ankle joint arthritis or even the calcaneal spur or plantar fasciitis. A textbook called Chigilsa Kaudugam, it's a Malayalam book, explains about the Arkapatra Sweda done in the Padaruk. So only Arkapatras, heated Arkapatras are spread over a red brick, and the patient is asked to stand over that brick. That is the only very simple procedure, very effective one. It is a Tapasweda. You spread the heated leaves over bricks and ask the patient to step over. It is very close to a Agni Karma. Okay, very close to Agni Karma, but not Agni Karma. This is Sweda. Now there is another Arkapatra Sweda used by Visha Chikitsa of Kerala. A textbook called Prayoga Samuchayam has explained about the Arkapatra Sweda in Visha and Shula. The Arkapatras are dipped in hot Saindhava and Krida. They are folded like this and they are dipped in this Krida, which is mixed with Saindhava and heated. And then that patras are applied locally over the painful area or the toxic area of toxic bite. Lavana Pinda Sweda. Again, you can find the reference in Chigilsa Kaudugam, Malayalam book. So that is applied Ekanga in Padaruk. Different cases already we discussed. And Snayu Kandaragada, that is the tendonitis, encapsulating tendinopathy. Then the Vata Kantaga, Andhra Vruddhi, okay, acute abdomen, the colic is there. There you can do the Lavana Pinda Sweda. Usually we use the sea salt itself, okay. And it is prepared Pinda and applied locally after heating. Then there is the Sarshaba Pinda Sweda, which is described by N.S. Moose, a famous Ashtavaidya, in his notebook on Prayogika Yogangal. He explains this Sarshaba Pinda Sweda as effective in Padaruk and Vata Kandaga Ekanga. So the fried Sarshaba is powdered, made into a tufted bag. You call it as a kiri or potala or pinda, and the bolus is heated in oil smeared pan. That is how you do the Sarshaba Pinda Sweda. Then about the Dhanyamla Dhara, which is a very famous procedure and a type of Drava Sweda. It is usually done as Ruksha. Okay, even though the Chigilsa Manjari, which introduced Dhanyamla Dhara in Vadavyadi Chigilsa, says that Ashidi Vadarogeshu Dhanyamlam Viniveshet. That means in all 80 Vadaja Nanatmaka Vigara, Dhanyamla can be utilized. But generally, we do that as Ruksha. Okay, in Amayukta, Kabhayukta, Vada. Extensively practiced, gives miraculous results. And the ingredients of that Dhanyamla is a prepared, it has to be prepared as per the Sandhana Kalpana. Okay, so that preparation, the indigenous yoga of Kerala is like this. Tandula, Kulatha, Prathuka, Laja, Kangu, Kodrava, Nagara, Ajamoda, and Jambira are the ingredients in that Dhanyamla. And its indication, wide range of indication, just I am for the purpose of sharing, I am restricting to a few: rheumatic fever, spinal canal stenosis, and even the ankylosing spondylosis, spondylarthropathy, CVS, obesity, seronegative and seropositive RA, fibromyalgia, diabetic neuropathy, neurodegenerative diseases, very important diseases, very important group. Okay. Using the Dhanyamla, we can do Kadikiri also. Kadikiri means Dhanyamla Potala. That means there will be a Potala with some other medication which is dipped in Dhanyamla and applied over the patient's body. So it can be done as Ekanga and Sarvanga in Sama Sandhya Shrita Roga. Generally, joint diseases of Ama association, you can go for the Kadikiri or the Dhanyamla Yutta Potala Sweda. So, Churnapinda Sweda, heated in Dhanyamla. Maybe Guluji Kashaya is also added some cases. Okay. That's a variation in the practice. Now, another Potala Sweda using Dhanyamla itself is Avikiri. Avi means Bashpa or vapors in Malayalam. Okay. Kiri is Potala. So, it is done generally as Eganga or Sarvanga in Amavada. Okay, and there is very much interesting regarding this body. How you heat the potali is the difference. You are heating the potali by keeping it over a cloth which covers the pot containing dhanyamla or gomutra. So the potali is not heated directly by dipping in the dravadravya, instead heated by the vapors. Okay. Oh, even though this is widely practiced in Kerala. Okay, I can link this to a text from North India, Bhaishya Ratnavali. If you see Bhaishya Ratnavali, there is a Hindi commentary on the, there is a Sanskrit commentary on the 29th chapter. What he says, you can read. Etani samudidani. Etani means here the Karpasasthyadi Sweda Churna yoga is mentioned. Okay. The yoga of Karpasasthyadi Sweda Churna is mentioned. You can take them, Egegasho va, all the medicines or one medicine, Samkundhya, Kanjigena Samsichya, Vastrena Potali Duyam Badhva. So you make two potalis. Then what you have to do? Deepta Agni Chulli Uparisthita, kept over a burning fire. Kanjiga sthali. What is kept? A pot containing kanjika. Upari lipta sachidra sharavastham. So your covering lid should have some holes and the bashpa vapors should come out. And these potali doyam can be kept over that and heated. Bashpa taptam. Ekam aniya pravruddhavade svedaye. So this is how beautifully a procedure of Kerala is found in Bhaishya Ratnavali commentary. Moving on to Churnapinda Sweda, which you are maybe mostly familiar to you. So it is performed as Ruksha mostly, but Snigdha practice is also there. Some of it is a Ruksha Snigdha Sweda. As you can recall from that scale, it is in the midpoint. So this is a Ruksha Snigdha Sweda. It is done in Amavada, Amavastha of Kadigraha, Vatarakta, Sandhivata. And when you are doing it as Snigdha, same indication, and also Pakshaghata. Okay. According to the Avastha, you can use either Levakola Kuladha Churna if you want Rukshada more. You can use Kola Kuladhadi Churna if you want Ruksha Snigdha. If you want a moderate Rukshada, you can use the Kottam Chukadi Churna. Likewise, lot of Churnas are there. Indigenous to Kerala, you have the Navadhanya Kiri. Navadhanyas are there. Yava, Kuladha, Mudga, Masura, Masha, Shashtiga, Ragi, Podrava and Kangu. These are roasted, powdered, made into two potalis and used. We commonly do that in MND, motor neuron disease, CP, cerebral palsy, spastic cerebral palsy, Parkinsonism conditions. Another indigenous Churnapinda Sweda from Kerala is Punnagadi Churna. Again, this Punnaga is not native to Kerala. It is more found in, it is there in Bhava Prakasha or Yogaratna, I think, but it is commonly found in Karnataka. But it is more practiced in Kerala. Punnaga Bija, Erenda Bija, Bogula Bija, Dhanada Bija, Karpasa Bija, Ankola Bija, Agasti Bija, Karanja Bija. So you can understand the placement of this Churnapinda Sweda. It is Snigdha in nature. Okay. A lot of ingredients are there. It is mentioned in Chikitsa Manjari also. Okay. And we generally use, we had a study in Pakshaghata. We use that in Sandhigatavada, Pakshaghata cases commonly. Another important Churnapinda Sweda of Marma practitioners of Kerala, the Shalya Tantra, is called as Maharidra Pinda Sweda or the Manyal Kiri, which is done in acute LBA, which contains Sarjarasa, Haridra, Shatapushpa, Laja, and egg white. Okay, this is done in traumatic LBA acute stage. Okay. Then another Snigdha variant is there containing these medicines: Masha, Shatapushpa, Kuladha, Medhiga, Sashaba, Badara, Tila, Yava, Shashtika. And we use that for the Snigdha Churnapinda Sweda. So we have the Ruksha Churnapinda Sweda, Snigdha Churnapinda Sweda. Let us see about Patra Podala Sweda. Lot of patras are explained in Aragodhiya chapter by Charaka himself, which can be used for Bahiparimarjana Chikitsa. And also in Sweda, also he has mentioned. Swedobagana he has mentioned. Any of these patra can be utilized for Patra Pinda Sweda. But in Kerala, commonly we use only those which are indigenous to Kerala. So, text called Arogya Raksha Kalpadrumam, which is a famous book in Kaumara Bhritya. It's a Sanskrit book. It beautifully narrates Patra Podala Sweda. Shigru Chinjarka Nirgundi Varanairanda Pallavaihi Anyehi Va Talsamaihi Swinnaihi Taila Swinnaihi Sakerakaihi. So you add coconut scrapings to these leaves and fry them in oil. Karpasa Pindiga Krutva. You tie them into a pottery with cotton cloth. Tabhit Taptabhirevava. So you heat that in oil. Sasneha Patre Sandapte Nikshaptabhir Muhurmuhu. Then you apply it over the body, and when the heat is reduced, again you can dip in the oil and apply over the body. This is the description of Patra Podala Sweda. Commonly we practice with these leaves: Eranda Patra, Nirgundi Patra, Karanja Patra, Dhatura Patra, Arka Patra, Chinja Patra, Vadakni Patra, Shigru Patra, and we add scraped coconut and Jambira also. Some people add Shadakwa Churnam also to this. So the indications of Patra Podala: Angamarda, Pakshaghata, Gurudhrasi, Sandhigatavada, Katishula, Grivagraha. It can be modified into Ruksha Snigdha and Snigdha Ruksha also. Another interesting Patra Podala Sweda, which may not be that much familiar to you, is Panasa Patra Sweda. Panasa Mara or the Panasa tree, Panasa Vriksha, is a commonly found in Kerala, jackwood tree. Okay. Only using the leaves of that, we can do a Sweda, as explained in Yogamridam. In Yogamridam, the Ardhita Chikitsa opens like this: Prarabdhe tu Ardhidye Mauli Liduga Balamishra Hayyanga Veenam Vennattalam. You keep the Navanita Lepa over the head. Okay. And also Pal Puga, Kshiradhuma, and also this Panasapatra Sweda. So what you have to do, you take the Panasapatra, spread oil over the leaf, heat that, apply over the face in a Pradiloma direction. So this is a Tapa Sweda applied as Ekanga. Then there is the Jambira Pinda Sweda, where Jambira number is more. There are no leaves, only some powders like Medhiga, Sarshapa, Sardapushpa, Haridra, Saindava are there. And we add Lashuna also to that. And Taila, it is used for heating according to the disease. And it is used generally in Kabhavada disease. It is more Ushna, more Tikshna. In subacute inflammation of joints, we use that. In Apabahuga, Kandigraha conditions like frozen shoulder, periarthritis, cervical spondylitis or spondylosis, sciatica, we can practice this Jambira Pinda Sweda. Now, about the Andasweda. Actually, this Kukkuda Sweda, there are different practices. In Kerala, what we commonly do is not that one in Ardhida. Okay. In Andhra Pradesh and all, they do a Kukkuda Sweda in Ardhida. In Kerala, we do mostly in Aganduja Vyadavyadhi, traumatic neurological diseases or conditions, and Mamsa Shosha. Okay. So the ingredients are Kukudandam, Jambira, Lashuna, Nimba Taila, Kola Thadi Chura. It is a Santhanakara Yoga and Brahmana also. Okay. The other Andasweda that I was mentioning earlier from Andhra Pradesh practice is mostly this one. Okay. It is done in Pakshagada, Ardhida, Hanustambha, like that. Okay. Very important procedure, Kaya Sega. Okay, Kaya Seka is mentioned by Keraliya Chikitsa Kramam as Bahyasneheshu Mukhyoyam Parishego Vidhiyade. It's a very important procedure among the Bahyasneha Karmas. And it can be done in Sneha Yogeshu Sarveshu Yadhishwabi Yathayatham. All persons who are indicated, or all diseases which are indicated for Snehana can be applied Kaya Seka, extensive utility. And also, if you recapture the Pakshagada Chikitsa Sutram, Snehanam Sweda Samyuktam Pakshagade Irejanam, isn't it? So this Kaya Seka is a procedure which imbibes the potentials of both Snehana and Swedana. Syndication, there is a big list. Ayame, Shoshavade, Pakshagade, Ababahuke. You can read for yourself. Kambe, Stambe, Prasupte, Sarvange, Egangavade. Lot of conditions we can utilize this Kaya Seka as the Bahya Snehana. And for Kaya Seka, this is an interesting point and a take-home message for all of you. So you have Dhanandaram Tailam. You have Dhanandaram Kurambu. You have Dhanandaram Mukkut. Why? It is only for Pirichil purpose. Kaya Segam or Pirichil. You see the reference? Kaya Sege Yadha Yogyam Yunjyat Sneha Chatushtayam. All four types of Sneha can be used. Yadhokta Ushadha Samsiddham Tailam Cha Yamakam Tatha. So Kuramba is a form of Yamaka. Mukkut is a form of Trivruta. Okay, even Ayurveda åKottakkal has a product called Trivruta Sneham. Or you can use the Mahasneha also for Kaya Seka. In this note, let me give you a glimpse of selection of Taila. Generally, this is what we practice. If the condition is traumatic, our selection is from Dhanvantaram, Balashwagandhadi, Lakshadi, Kayat Tirumeni, Murivenna. Among these Tailas, we will select for traumatic conditions. If pain is the dominant presentation, then we will select among Kotamchukadi, Karpuradi, Narayana Taila. If CVA, cerebrovascular accident, is the condition, our preference is for Karpasasthyadi, Mahamasha, even Dhanvantaram Tailam also. If the condition presents as a spastic one, spasticity is associated, we use Kotamchukadi Taila or Ayavenna, which is again an indigenous preparation of Kerala. Kayat Tirumeni, Murivenna, Ayavenna, all these are indigenous preparations from Kerala Marma practitioners. If neuropathy is the presentation, we use Pinda Tailam, Khajida Pinda Tailam, Vadashini Tailam also, which is a Shadavari based formulation, Vadashini Tailam. And in extrapyramidal lesions like the Parkinson's condition and all, we use Mahamasha, Karpasasthyadi, Vadashini. And arthritis, we go for selection from Chinjadi, Panjamla, Pinda Taila, and even Balaguluchyadi also. This is the general practice that we follow in Kerala. And also bony lesions. If there is a, say if it is a calcaneal spur, you say there is a bony growth. You use Ketaki Mulati, Mahasneha. If we want nourishment, Brahmana, we go for Shashtiga Tailam, Shirabala Tailam, Balashwagandhadi Tailam. I will take 5 more minutes, madam. In 5 minutes, I will conclude. Time is already 3:30. Okay, 5 minutes extra. In shoulder pathology, we are going for Panchasneha or Parinada Kera Kshiryadi, Karpa Sasthyadi, like that. LBA condition, we are using Sahacharadi or Prabhanjana Vimardhanam. Prabhanjana means Vata, Vimardhanam, having Shamana action over the Vata. Okay. Then, moving on to from Kayasega, moving on to Shashtiga Shali Pindasveda, very important one among the Keraliya Chikitsa. So, what is its indication? What are the indications? You see this shloka? Sarvangaga Balayudascha Samira Roga Rakta Prakopa Janidascha Tathadi Kritra Yesanti Tesham Yesanti Deha Balanashagaran Runam Nashyandyanena Vidhina Sahasa Akhilaste. So these are indicated for Balavada, Balapakshaghata, cerebral palsy, that is Pakshaghata, Vadashonida, and other Rakta Prakopa Janya Rogas. Shosha, Shula, and Balakshaya is the characterization for selection of Shashtigashali Pindasveda. So actually, along with Shashtigashali Pindasveda, we learn about Shashtiga Annaleva. But it is not a Sweda Karma. Annaleva is not a Sweda Karma. It is a modified form of what you say, Utsadana or Lepana. Okay, you can see the indication. Limbe Dangeshu Yududeshu Nahaswada. That means when there is deformity onset, then you go for Lepa, Annalepa. Okay. In not only the joints, Hasta Pada Anga Shoshanja Stambha Gaurava Suptada Sarvadehashrayam Daham Cheshta Hanim Cha Bhangadam. All these conditions, you can use it as Kramadushnam Kadushnam Cha Va. So it can be applied as Sweda also, it can be applied as Lepa also. It is not a Sweda Karma. Okay. Then Godhuma Pindasveda, which is explained as in a Dandabatanaga. That is the conditions were dystonia, generalized dystonia, cervical dystonia, such conditions you can use this Godhuma Pindasveda. Pakva Godhuma Pindena Svedas Tatra Prashasyade. And also with the Sahajaradi Kashayam and Kshira, we can use in Kalaya Ghancha the gait deformities. Pakshaghata also, Godhuma Pinda is indicated. Mamsa Pinda Sweda, the most snigdha among the Sweda Karma. Smuhiswarasa Siddhena, Tailena Aplavidam Tadha, Chaga Mamsena. We use the Mamsa of goat. Koshnena, Mardayet, Vadaroginam. In Vadaroga, you can use this Mamsa Pinda Sweda when there is dystrophy, muscle loss, bulk loss for Brahmana purpose. So let me remind you that we have reached the end of Sweda Karma, which are part of the Keraliya Kriya Krama. The end is the most snigdha Sweda. Now, if we carry on, as our time is already completed, I am concluding with some afterthoughts. We do have certain other procedures like Talapodichil, which I have not mentioned. So Talapodichil is a modified form of Niragni Swedana. Okay, it is a Niragni Swedana, and it is indicated for insomnia. It is not actually a Swedana Chikitsa, it is a Stambhana Chikitsa. It is not a Snehana Chikitsa, it is a Rukshana Chikitsa. Okay, and it is a standalone treatment. Okay, Talam is there, which is applied locally. Various Talams are there, right from common headache to your ardhida, facial palsy, we have lot of thalams. For thalam itself, we will take one session. So this thalam can be applied as a standalone treatment also, and also as an isolated procedure, or as an adjuvant procedure, both standalone and adjuvant. Okay. Whatever be this application of this Keraliya Krama, guna level analysis is more important. We have to understand the characteristic of the treatment in terms of guna, that is Ushna, Tikshna, Snigdha, Ruksha. And these variations in Svedana practice is a value addition to our care. And with these words, I hope I have taken 5 more minutes extra. I thank you all for patient listening, and wish you all the best. Over to you, Madam. Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir. On behalf of the Department of Panchakarma and my all students and those who have joined online, I thank you, sir, for such an elaborative and informative lecture you have given on the Keraliya Upkarmas and Kriya Kalpas. Of course, we all have learned too much, and of course, we will practice it in a genuine way for the well-being of the patients. Thank you so much, sir. I know you have the less time, but still, I will ask the students if anybody is having question, they can unmute and ask. There is only one question I could see by Gautam Gunde. How to prepare Godhuma Pinda and Mamsa Pinda Sveda?
Yeah, so the preparation is very similar to the Shashtika Chali preparation. Actually, in Godhuma, it's a grain, isn't it? It's a Shali itself. So you can cook it along with the Kashaya, whether it is Balamula Kashaya or Sahajara Mula Kashaya, and milk, and make the podali. And if you are adding meat, you have to cook the meat separately and add it only when you are tying the podali. If you are doing Mamsa Pinda Sweda alone, then you have to chop the meat at first and then cook it. Then you have to, after cooking, you have to tie it with the meat alone, cooked meat alone. How to select Kuramba? I think, madam, your audio is mute.
Yeah, Udaya Ganesh, how to say.
Yeah. See, Kuramba, as I mentioned, see, there is a book called, which I have not mentioned, Navakhandam. Navakhanda is a book. I have written an article on it. If you Google it, you can find that article. Navakhanda is a very famous book which has one chapter called Kurambu Khandam. Okay. So he introduces that with these lines. Abhyangasya edadeshatvat Kuramba anjida gauravam. So in classics, Taila is the best. Taila is the best explained for Abhyanga, isn't it? So one of the property or disadvantage of Nitya Upayoga of Taila is it is Sukshma and Vyavahi. Okay, so on daily usage or on usage in excess quantity or on chronic usage, continuous usage, it might produce some skin problems or burning sensation like that. So for that, Dhara Kalpa has introduced to add Krida into Taila, like 1/4 Krida, 1/6 Krida, 1/8 Krida. So making, with that information, this Navakhanda written by Vasudeva introduces a group of Kuramba, okay, which are preparations similar to Yamaka in the classics. So they are added with Erenda Daila also. Not only Krida, Erenda Daila also. Okay, and when you are prescribing any Taila for chronic continuous usage, and especially in summer climate, hot climate, you can prefer Taila. See, Kuramba. Instead of Dhanandaram Tailam, you go for Dhanandaram Kuramba. Instead of Sajaradi Tailam, go for Sajaradi Kuramba. And as I said in the presentation, you can prefer this Kuramba for treatments like Kayasek. Okay, in earlier days, all the major pharmacies like åKottakkal Ayurvedishala, Coimbatore Ayurvedic Pharmacy from Kerala, they used to prepare two separate Tailas. One is number 1 for Pedichil. and number two for daily usage. But now, as nobody is aware of this knowledge, they have stopped preparing that.
Yes. Thank you, sir. The last question by Kavita Pritam is how to prepare Dhanyamla.
Yeah, Dhanyamla, as I said, the ingredients are to be kept as per the Sandhana Kalpana. Okay, this is just like the fermentation process. So you have to, there is a Dhanyamla separate plant in our kitchen. So in a 20-liter vessel, you have to take water and these ingredients, make a pottery of these ingredients, dip that pottery in the water, and you keep it over mild fire for 7 days, continuous fire. The liquid should not boil and evaporate. Okay, you do that for 7 days continuously. From the 8th day, Dhanyamla is ready.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. One Gautam Gunde has raised a hand. Gautamji, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Thank you, madam, for allowing me to ask the question. Sir, I have a question regarding the therapists. Those therapists who are always indulged in doing Snehana Karma, how to take care of their health regarding their hands, regarding their, Sneha Ati Yoga. I think they get exposed to Sneha Ati Yoga.
Yeah.
Or
So
Sneha
see,
Svedana Ati Yoga. How to take care of that?
practice. I get your point. That concern is very much practical one. Okay. So see, generally what we advise is that ask them to do Udvartana. That means not the Udvartana procedure. Okay, in Dinacharya you have learned the Udvartana, isn't it? Charaka says Sharira Parimarjanam. After the Abhyanga, you have to do the Sharira Parimarjanam. Like, so for protecting the skin, you use Mudga Churna or Masha Churna or some other medium which washes away the stain of the Taila and all. After each procedure, you should encourage the therapist to do that.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually, there are the questions and everybody wants to ask, but as sir is having another engagement.
Actually, my sister, she is a principal at Vaidyamadham Ayurveda College, Ullur. Also, after her 30 years of service, she is retiring today. Okay, so there is a function at 4 o'clock. That is, I want to join her because she is also a guide to me. Okay, well, very elder to me. So I want to join her. That's why. Okay.
Yes, sir. That's why we will thank you from the Department of Panchakarma.
Thank you very much. And also I am proud to be part of this program, especially Banaras Hindu University. This moment, let me remember the great Madan Mohan Malaviya ji, who was a very well-known visionary, provided several insights into Ayurveda also. Our Ayurveda College and Banaras Hindu University were one among the 17 colleges which existed 100 years back, I think. 100 years back, our nation had only 17 institutions. Okay, our college was there, Banaras Hindu University was there. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you all for joining online and in this great success for this online web series. Thank you so much.